concept, but in entirely different methodology.
Yeah.
Like the way him and I both get to the end of the maze, but the way him and I get to the end of the maze, although it's the same maze with the same end, wildly different approaches. Right. And most of that stuff is and Mark will openly say this for everybody. Many of those things are simply due to a different financial obligation. You know what I mean? Mark is makes very good money in his professional career, has made really good money. He's technically retirement age. He could be retired right now if he wanted to be retired. He's got all the money he needs.
Yeah.
He just chooses to work and play because he's a very smart guy. He's been performance centered his entire life, and like most people like that, he just can't sit still. You know what I mean? The guy just won't do it, right? So he just keeps hustling and keeps doing what he does, which is great. But when he trades like somebody who doesn't need his money. You know what I mean? And so he can hold through significantly larger drawdowns or pullbacks. He can make significantly, he can hold on to an idea a lot longer than I can hold on to an idea in loss or in profit. Right? Because he doesn't need the money. If he gets a good short on the ES, he doesn't need to worry about hitting a target. I can just keep holding. Let's see how far this goes. I don't even need a target. You know what I mean? That puts you in a totally different game. Imagine going to Vegas every day and not caring if you actually win or lose. You know what I mean? So all you're doing is going there for the performance, for the execution of the gambling, right? You don't need the money. You just want to win or you want to lose. It has a metric to it. And on top of that, Mark was a professional tennis player. If he hadn't had an injury, it would probably be a name you would know for a different reason. You know what I mean? And, but he used to play with some of the best out there. So the guy's obviously just a really high level performer and ridiculously humble and just nice. And I really don't like that about him at all. Actually, we should ban him. Just kidding. No, I love that guy.
So I just posted the mentoring chat. The without settings, lower range day, push down to R1. It was my sketchy R1 play, but I didn't notice this. I was on instrument. I would have just played this to R4, but it went all the way to R6. Well, yeah, man, these R1s on NQ are just like once a week they happen now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Thor, how are
and
you?
They happen on lower range days, which is weird.
I'm doing well.
I guess on a lower range day, if we open above R1, we should expect it maybe because we would expect to kind of open middle range or lower, right? But since it's not, that could be a clue that it might want to go higher.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure it out.
Well, the thing is because we're getting through these highs now. You know what I mean? You're people who had shorted, a week ago now are getting caught in the squeeze.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? So you're getting an additional amount. Not only do you now have limit orders to the top side to sell, as you move higher, you have buyers that will stop out and throw market orders into them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's the perfect environment for the market makers
orders
to squeeze the crap out of the environment.
Yeah, so that's what it was. I mean, that's why it moved so violently once it kind of whipsawed. It just stopped everyone out from like 1, 2, 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it just all those turned into market buys and it just rocketed
just
the price
start
up.
Flying out, right?
Yeah.
I think Gonzalo, was that you, bud? Saying I think you were trying to say hi or something like that. I heard you.
Yeah, that was me.
What's up, buddy?
How are you?
I'm good, man.
I just had a question regarding you were looking at SPY right now. How do you interpret those ATR guides right now? Because they're above the upper bracket of them.
So right now, I have to admit, I'm kind of deciding whether or not I want to go back to bed or not. So because in reality, like I don't have any plays so far that I've identified that actually fits the system.
Right.
So I'm sitting here thinking, is today a day where I'm going to basically, trade an ideal setup no matter what I do today? You know what I mean? I've had such a good month. I'm actually considering that maybe I just don't. So full disclosure, that's where I'm at right now. Now, our high of day currently is sitting right near floor 3. We have been selling pretty well since we've been there, and we have significantly overshot our ATR already. That being said, the ES has a chunky order sitting at 6,000, and that order gets attention all the time. Whatever's going on at 6,000 has been a thing for maybe 2 months now. I mean, anytime it gets around 6,000, it likes to yoink into it and off of it, through it, around it, whatever. So we got to kind of keep that in mind. If this decides to break out, we could find ourselves at 6,000. So, but that being said, again, we have dramatically exceeded our ATR, and it looks to me like the SPY is starting to flip bearish. We have more orders on the bid. We've exceeded our ATR. We've already ran all the way out to the floor pivots. But can we go higher than this? Of course we can. Would I expect to? No, not on a wide range, but we've got Fed junk going on today. So, like I said, this is just like, my style specifically is a style that really anchors on the over and over and over again, right? It's a performance-based style that's based on doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result. So if you don't have an over and over again, there's no way to really expect the same result, if that makes sense. So you could throw some shares in today, but kind of keeping it an idea, you're probably at a disadvantage no matter what you do today. So if you're going to take a trade, really make sure it fits as much of the system as possible. Like, you would still like it to be near a cam. You would still like it to have the proper order book and good volume signals and all that jazz, right? Don't commit yourself, because the thing is, today can easily turn into just a big old nasty red day.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet, bud.
Gracias.
No problem, my friend. I mean, we could even open and then sweep up through all of this, stop it out, and then just sell off all day. I think we could chop up here like half the day and then wait for Beige Book to come out and then sell. I mean, it's just so many things that could happen today. It's really hard to. And again, I got no PCP on like anything. MSTR's higher range opening under R4. It's probably not calling this one because the ATR is probably too tight. Oh, no.
Oh, whoa.
MSTR is possible. I like MSTR where it's at. It kind of overshot, came back, and look at this perfect test to R4 from the underneath. They then swept it and came back under. I kind of like how they're holding here. So maybe we could do MSTR.
Heck yeah. I bought MSTR at 330. A little bit under, actually. Loving it. I sold my NVIDIA. It wasn't really doing much. It seemed like it kept going down. So I might put that money more into Mr.
Get this thing off of me.
I'm liking it. Nice.
I was watching Happy Gilmore a couple of nights ago, actually.
Oh, cool.
You know that Mista lady? I think I killed her.
One of my ex-girlfriends, that was one of her favorite movies. Well,
Nice.
Her other favorite movie was what's that one with Dana Carvey and Mike Myers? They're like 80s metalheads.
Wayne's World?
Wayne's World, yeah, that was her favorite.
Yeah. You know what? I always reference Wayne's World whenever I got I'm talking about the stock exchange back in 1910. Let's go back in time.
I don't even have a gun, much less a collection that would require a gun rack. That girl got him a gun rack that was crazy about him. He hated it.
That requires a rack.
Hey, Lauren, did you watch Burn Before Reading? That movie?
That sounds very familiar. Let me look at it.
I told you about it, I think Monday. You said you were going to watch it. Or maybe it was Drew.
No, I didn't watch it.
What the heck?
Let me put that as a note here. I'm looking for things. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, it's got, that's right, Malkovich and Clooney and Brad Pitt. Yeah, you know what? Thank you for reminding me.
I wrote it down. I put on a movie at one of the ones that Lauren recommended yesterday. I fell asleep
Bodyguard?
early, and yeah, The Bodyguard. But I
My
fell
Bodyguard.
asleep. and I
My
woke up in
Bodyguard,
the-
not The Bodyguard. Those are two
Yeah.
very different experiences.
You're right.
From the
It
80s.
was the one he actually sent me the link.
I'm really glad you guys clarified that. I was getting nervous.
Yeah, not The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner. But
I
ended up-
forgot that. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I
It's a great
forgot
movie.
that one of the antagonists in that is I just forgot his name. It's a 80s actor. Well, anyways, did you watch it or you fell asleep?
Well, I ended up falling asleep. I wasn't feeling good. I woke up in the middle of the night drenched in sweat. So
Oof.
I think I got the flu or something going on.
Yeah.
But
I don't know,
Matt
that
Damon.
happens to me in
Matt-
Florida just because it's like it's too, it's cold, so I got like the space heater on,
Yeah.
but it's like, then it's like hot because it's Florida. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, so Matt Damon. I forgot that Matt Damon's the
Oh, yeah.
antagonist in that.
Matt Damon.
Oh, that's a great movie. Like I'll probably watch that again too because I started watching a little bit and I'm like, wow, I like this movie. This is good.
I think it's Matt Dillon.
Or Matt Dillon. That's right, not Matt Damon. Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon was like a baby.
Matt Dillon. That's a very different Matt.
Yes. He was cool. Matt Dillon was cool.
Matt Damon.
Remember he was in The Outsiders? That's
I
a
like
good movie
The
too.
Outsiders. That was a
Yeah,
good
that's
movie.
about like 50s greasers, kind of. But they do
he was
some
in
bad
Wild
things.
Things with
Yeah. Oh yeah, Wild Things. That was great.
that was a good one.
Yeah.
What was the? Do you guys remember? I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was a movie, and it was kind of like an '80s kind of like horror kind of deal, but it was, and I'm trying to remember who the actor was too. But he ended up being more famous, but you'd never remember it from the movie. But it was he got killed by like a car, all these like car gang guys. And then he came back as like this like super like jacked up like amazing like Lamborghini kind of style looking future car, and then basically like ran them
The
all
Wraith.
off the road and like destroyed them. It was like
It's not the Wraith,
coolest-
is it?
Maybe.
What's it called?
The Wraith.
The
He
Wraith?
came back. He came back and he drove that like I forgot what kind of car they made that out of, and but he was like in like a spacesuit, and he was killing all the guys that killed him.
Yeah.
running
When he
off
got
the
out,
road
when he
and
got
chasing
out of
down.
it, he'd be wearing like it was like a race.
Yeah,
like a
Charlie
crazy race
Sheen.
suit. Yeah, Charlie Sheen. Thank you.
Oh, he's
That's
a
the
great
one.
actor.
What's it called?
The Wraith.
The
Oh,
Wraith.
The Wraith. Yeah.
I doubt it holds up.
What's
I
it?
doubt
How do
that
you
one will
spell
hold
that?
up, but yeah.
WRATH.
WRAITH.
No, that's the wrong one.
The Wraith. Yeah, that's with Charlie Sheen. Nick Casamontes. Oh, I don't know if I've seen this.
Yeah,
It
that's
probably
the
doesn't
one.
hold up now, but it was cool when you were younger because the car was cool.
It's got Charlie Sheen. What? It doesn't hold up, dude. It was great. Top notch acting, Grammy Award winning.
Yeah.
Granny. It had Randy Quaid in it.
Oh, Randy Quaid. Really cool.
Randy Quaid played the sheriff, so it added like this really nice comedic element in some ways into the sheriff because Randy Quaid's freaking hilarious.
Cool.
And then Charlie Sheen, and it was really stinking. It was good, man. I really liked that movie, but I was Clint Howard was in it. He's always in those Adam Sandler movies. He always plays like in The Waterboy. He's like the guy who's like maybe like a couple of those chromosomes are stuck together guy. And anyway, great movie. I really liked it. 1986. Got my name on it?
That wasn't the one you were thinking of, though, was it?
No, that was absolutely the one I was thinking of.
I was 17.
That was absolutely the one I was thinking of.
I just want maybe it would hold up, but
Dude, I mean, see here, just look at like my
I just
look at the Wraith.
thought the
Like, hold on, look at my screen right here.
No, I'll watch that. That looks good. I don't think I've seen this.
So
Like, just
cool.
think
Oh,
about
that
in the
car. Look at that car.
think about in the 80s. Like, and this is the 80s, right?
That car is wild. Let's see.
Look, there's Clint Howard with hair. Look, it had like the suicide.
It totally looks like an 80s type movie. Man, the 80s were cool, huh? One of my favorite times.
Oh wait, hold on. Where's the part where it shows what the engine looked like?
Oh, look, you see it? So, oh no, that's not the full movie. Nice hair.
And it's just like this dub. Anyway, the
I'll
car
watch
like
it. That looks good.
it's a good movie. It's really good. All right. Anyway, back to the stocks.
I might have to
So
give
when
it a
I have
shot.
nothing I'm interested in, this is obviously what I do. But y'all feel free if you if there's something you're really interested in, I'll be happy to talk about it. I just don't know what I'm going to do. I right now MSTR is the only thing I'm super interested in, and I'm still technically holding this short on the ES.
I wonder what the banks are doing. Let's check.
Oh yeah, let's look at some banks. I
Yeah,
never
'cause
look
there's-
at banks.
Wells Fargo, Citigroup, some Citibank, Wells Fargo. Let's see what else. Let me look at Financial Juice. Good juice.
Financial juice.
JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. They're all today.
It should start getting fun with earnings starting up again. Everybody getting back to
I'd
work.
like to go through this.
Yeah.
These are some cool watch lists. I didn't realize they had so many of these different watch lists. Like you come down here and just look for things that are scheduled earnings in the next 5 days. That's a nice one.
Yeah, so for
Upcoming
people that are
earnings.
joining late, we got a lot of Fed speakers today. We got Beige Book. We got a bunch of bank earnings. Fed Barkin is speaking now, and then we got Kashkari. Fed Barkin. He speaks again at 9:20. So let's see, 7 minutes, and then Goldman Sachs earnings call at 9:30. And then Kashkari at 10, and then Wells Fargo at 10 too, earnings.
Frank.
Well, there's some hot 80s chicks. Hot 80s chicks in the Wraith, huh? Slightly punkish looking. This looks like a really
I
fun
miss
movie.
the 80s.
I do too. The 80s were awesome. That's when I started, it was 89. It was my first Grateful Dead show. That's when I started going to the Dead shows during summer and spring break.
But I guess we probably couldn't have been doing this in the 80s, so
No, you couldn't really. There wasn't really day trading, as far as I know. Not retail.
Do.
Yeah, they're starting to come back a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to wait till the open. Well, I had 3 trades, so I could do one more. Most. I'm going to give myself only 4 trades today. but I am at 500. It's more than I usually.
500, sweet.
Yeah, it's more than I usually target. I try to do about 240 at least, but
That's
so
good,
I'm over
man.
double. Yeah, I shouldn't have. The one thing is, I shouldn't have tried to short that second time.
Yeah,
I mean, at
it's
least an M2.
yeah. Don't like the thing is it's kind of every now and again it's kind of good just to kind of stretch a little bit and try some of that stuff. It just lets you experience it and lets you know.
Yeah.
That's why we use fixed risk because we're not
Yeah,
perfect traders.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's
Or
gonna get
it's
slapped around a little
like being
bit
a
just
good
to remind
Christian,
everyone
right? It's like being a good Christian. You know, I don't
Yeah.
expect you to not sin. I just expect you, to
Oh yeah.
don't blow up the boat in the process, maybe.
Yeah.
But so just keeping the losses, intentional and controlled is all that really matters, and you certainly did that. So and then now
Yeah.
you kind of have an idea on that. All right, wait, it was exciting. It was nice to hit money real fast, and then you probably just went, all right, let's freaking go, and that's good though. You want to bolster
yeah.
that. You want to bolster that because one of the things that really helps you make money once you get rocking and rolling is hitting that trigger a few times and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, getting some trades out there and not being so concerned, with that because
Losing.
especially
Right.
once you've already made some money, this is your opportunity now that you got the house on your, you kind of got the house a little bit. You can do it. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah, that's right. You're playing with house money. I like that idea.
I got a guy coming here in a few minutes, of course, right at the open. These people like killing me, but I have an armadillo that has made a tunnel underneath my house.
Oh no.
So he has 3 exit holes. So I'm like, he must have like a little network going on under there, but you don't want it to start destabilizing the foundation because he's digging around under there.
Yeah. When I was out in Hastings, I had voles, VOLES.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They'd pop up all over the place. So I got these solar powered like things. They kind of like tap the ground in a weird. You stick them in the ground, and then they
Oh, thumpers.
yeah, thumpers. Yeah, they got rid of them pretty quickly.
Yeah, thought we used to use thumpers on our farm. So we
you don't want to-
we used mortars and thumpers to keep animals away. So so on the edge of the property, it actually we had a big commercial version of those. So it kind of looked like how one of those old school oil well things that looks like a horse that dips its head up and down. That's the best description I got. Our thumpers basically look like slightly smaller versions of those, and it just has a large block on the ground, basically, and then a big piston that's just going.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, because if the horses or your cows get into them, they could break their legs.
Yep, no animal wants to live in that environment. If you go in there, if you don't have your thumper operating for a couple of weeks, because you don't need to run them all the time necessarily.
Yeah.
Plus they they can they're pretty damn annoying, to be honest, to people too. So because then if so we didn't run them at night. Obviously, we'd only run them during the day. But sometimes in the mornings, you would kick that thing on and you'd see all the little mices and all the stuff start scurrying from the fields out into the woods and stuff like that. Pretty wild. Because we grew crop, but to feed our livestock, but we still grew crop. So we had our thumpers out there, and then we had these mortars, which were basically those were for the birds, because birds don't care about thumpers; they'll just sit on the branches, and then it doesn't really seem to bother them. So we have mortars. So once a day or twice a day, if in certain seasons when there were a lot more birds around, boom! Just you load it up with a big bag of powder basically, and light the fuse and let it rip, and the thing would shake everything. It was awesome.
All the things you have to do when you live in the country.
It was fun. You get to go make incredibly large amounts of noise for no reason. It's just great.
Yeah, my old property, I was able to actually shoot guns on my property. My neighbor next door had a little gun range her son built.
Nice. Yeah, we used to do that.
I miss that for sure.
We had we used a front loader and dug out a big U-shaped dirt pit basically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and lined that all in there. It was great.
Yeah, I go out to either Bunnell Range now or I go to Saltwaters in St.
Oh, nice.
Augustine.
They're
Saltwaters
putting
is
in a
great.
new range not far from my house, I think, which I'm really excited about.
Saltwaters is a good range.
We went to the mall a couple, like maybe I don't know, it was maybe like a year ago at this point. And they have those airsoft guns. They look like little AR-15s
Oh
that
yeah,
shoot
I
like
love airsoft.
airsoft. And we go in there and we're going in there, and my wife's brother-in-law was in town, and we're all going in there with their kit with his kids and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And like, let's go shoot airsoft or
That was
whatever.
fun.
And then he used to be a deputy for the correctional facility, so he has real weapons training, right? So I'm like, let's see how someone who's really weapons trained does against a country
Oh, they're
boy who
really
hasn't
good.
picked up a gun in like 20 years. And then they're like, all right, so we pick it up there, and then the first thing I look at him and I go, oh, I'm gonna kill you. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you really close one of your eyes when you're shooting? You know what I mean? Because I don't. One of the things. No reason to close one of your eyes when you're shooting. Like I don't know why
Well, yeah,
people do
your
that. It
situational
kills
awareness is-
it kills your depth perception, and
Yeah.
you lose your situational awareness.
Yeah,
I'm just sitting there, so I just hold the gun up and both my eyes are open, and then you just see me go ting 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 ting, just shooting down the whole line. And it's just like drop, just hitting them all across. I cleared the whole thing. I didn't even empty the clip out, and I was just like, it's that's really easy because it's very close. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about you're shooting from like 10 feet away, and the targets are actually quite large. And those airsoft guns shoot really good.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
So I have a large gun collection, but my airsoft collection is ridiculous. I used to sponsor an airsoft team in Idaho.
Cool.
I'd fix their guns and build guns from them, but I'm talking about like $1,000 airsoft guns.
Dude,
I would
if you
make
get
these
rich and
things-
famous doing the stock trading thing, and then you want to start a small business, I think the St. Augustine area could use a really good like airsoft like.
Yeah, there's one in
range.
Jacksonville I've been to, but yeah.
No, yeah,
Um,
but people
I'll
like
tell you what, I love.
St. Augustine is like, I mean, think about, you could do airsoft, but you could combine it with the whole like Spanish colonial concept. Like you could set up like a bunch of like obstacles that look like,
That'd be kick-ass.
the obstacles you would have dealt with. And you could dress up like Indians and stuff. We could all shoot each other. It'd be amazing.
Maybe I'll post some of my airsoft guns one time. Like all mine, like they're pretty wild. I'll tell you that.
That's cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, I put like real tight bore barrels in them, and I redo all the internals and the triggers, and yeah, I don't think people realize those things can cost just as much as a real gun, if not more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I have targets in my backyard, and I practice with a timer. My shooting from a draw, but I do it with airsoft guns because it's in my backyard.
Yeah, that's so much better than like, because like for me, I have one of those like laser bullets that I have to use if I'm not going to
yeah.
a range.
Yeah.
So which works nice, but but you don't get recoil. So it's just really not the same. Like I can just sit there. It's like pointing your remote control at the wall. Like once you hit it one time, just hold it there. So there's a certain degree, but for like, especially for like, I mean, it's been working. It works nice for my quick draw, obviously, because I can pull out and see if I hit the bead really fast, and that's nice.
Yeah.
But
you can
but like
practice.
for
Also save a lot of
continuous
money on
practice where
ammo.
you're holding and trying to like continuously like tracing a target or something, because you don't get that recoil. It's just too easy. But airsoft guns don't have a lot of recoil either, so maybe not so bad.
They don't. But all my pistol airsoft guns, they're gas powered. They're not electric.
Oh, nice.
So, and the slides
They got a
reciprocate
little
and
CO2
everything.
cartridge.
Yeah, I'll post some of them. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty impressive. Some of these, like, I do
Order
a lot of work
book
on
just
them.
cleared on MSTR a little bit. 5 minutes till the open.
5 minutos.
The ES is starting to buy a little bit again off of R6, coming back up to test the underneath of the 50 SMA. So it'll be
the
interesting
same
to
with
see what we
N2.
do here at the open. I mean, my initial thought would be a bit of a squeeze and then a big dump, but who knows? If we start selling really hard, maybe we could look to pick this thing back up around R4. 59.30, 59.25-ish, somewhere down there on ES. And then get the rally all the way to 6,000 if this thing decides to go up. We'll see what happens. The problem with MSTR is the spread blows. Yeah. I like how Brian said that. Brian Pesum and Variable Traders just said something. I really like the way he said that. He said, I hate these repricing days. So basically, like what he means by that, for those of you who don't know what he means by that, what he means is this is the day, because of the new news that's coming out and new information. Basically, the market is reassessing the value of every ticker across the board, right? It's because it's inflationary data. It's stuff that affects the value of the dollar. It's stuff that So this is so they're kind of like deciding today, is the market worth more, worth less? So like Brian says, it creates what they call these repricing days, or what we would call a value discovery day or a price discovery day. So the price action can be much more erratic, much less likely to fit the rules and play by the rules we're looking to utilize. So just kind of keep that in mind. Be really, really picky if you're going to take a trade on something. Let's see if that guy's here yet. I'm sure this guy's going to get here right when the frickin' market opens. I got my front camera on so I can see if he pulls up. All right, got about 10 seconds here. Look at all those orders at 370. We are open. Ding, ding, ding. Jared got long on AMD right out of the gate. Man, I just feel like we're like wicking all over the place on DOS for me. Ninja looks smooth, but man, DOS, especially my futures feed right now, is gross. I'm going to go ahead and take my futures trade that I have on the ES, and I'm just actually going to go ahead and put it at break even because I don't like this range and where the market's at. I think we could sell from here, but if we rally, I'm just going to get out of this
Okay.
And then I'll see if we hold up right or make a good signal. Plus, I hate the way DOS looks right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this if it goes up because this is gross. So R6 like short, like yeah. We're getting a lot of absorption here, but
Yeah,
it looks like it's gonna pop.
kind of does, huh?
All right.
Maybe it'll be a pop and drop though.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Pop and drop.
Pop and drop it, lock it, pop it.
So I just dumped some photos into the life stuff. Just a few of my builds.
Cool.
And so
I'll go check it out.
the name of my company or whatever is LBS Armory. So Lauren Ben Stoll Armory. But I like the LBS is like pounds too. So anyways. So I do all the framework, I do everything. Like these are just built, and you can see most of them look like actual real guns. Like they have real red dots on them and like fake suppressors and all decked out. All decked out.
I haven't spent enough time in the life stuff.
You see those?
Yeah, those are dope.
Right? And you could yeah.
I like the one that looks, it almost looks like a Rastafarian.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
built
color
that. Yeah. So the kid's nickname was Rasta. So I did that
Oh, nice.
for him. Yeah.
Oh, it works. I like it.
The little thing on the end, that's a tracer. You put it on the threaded barrel, and then you use glow in the dark BBs, and then it ignites. It lights up the BB before it leaves, so you could. They shoot out what looks like lasers when they shoot.
That's so cool.
Pretty cool, huh?
That's way cool.
And I even do some for women. As you can see, the pink G26 build, pink and gold, right? And it's
Yeah,
actually
that's beautiful.
I found
That's my wife's is like a cute little baby blue.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Matches her Jeep.
Yeah, it seems like I've lived like 100 lives in my lifetime, but I do want to remind you guys that I'm like 55, so I've done
So old.
I just live life to the fullest. I just do every single thing I can. Everything.
He's just
Following
so
the Grateful
old.
Dead to building guns, to airsoft, to building knives, to trading, to whatever, you know what I mean? Life's just eternally interesting to me.
Tesla's in an interesting spot, really struggling at R4 here. Let's see what the book's looking like. In DOS, it looks a little bearish. MNQ keeps getting hung up here under R6. It just tried to sell right there, and someone absorbed it.
Absorption.
How well they absorb is going to be a big answer right here. If we push now and make a new 1 minute high, we might try and get all the way and sweep pre-market high. If we can't make a new 1 minute high, this is going to set an isolated pivot right off of R6 without, which would be a perfect spot for them to do whatever it is they are going to do. See if Tesla maybe wants to go back to PDC. The order book's a little bullish, but it's got a lot of selling. I really wish these would save.
So the 50% range of this hourly push-up candle is exactly at yesterday's high. So might want to pull back there into a bit of discount first before it gets bought up again. Could be a target though too.
Which is also at R4, right?
Yeah, heading back towards R4.
Yes,
U.S. bank earnings were better than expected. So that just came out on Financial Juice. Of course, CPI numbers came in lower than expected. S&P 500 strengthened.
Here goes NQ.
Yep.
Back to 21,200. Let's see if this thing can get all the way back to R4.
Oh yeah, that could be a good place.
What time was the big news again? The next big news? 10, right? Oh no, 10,
10.
10:30.
I think
10.
10 o'clock.
Well, 10 o'clock Fed speaker Kashkari, and then beige book is that's not till 2, the beige book. But we do have Fed speakers all day, and bank earnings at 10. Wells Fargo. Oh, crude oil inventory is 10:30. I just saw that one.
Yeah, that's red news, right?
Yeah, it says red. It has a red thing next to it, so could be a mover.
Red letter.
Red letter.
All right. 21,200 did get some buying. And it was a pretty solid chunk.
Yeah. It's got a big
Volume
green
was
bubble
really
there
nice
too.
there.
Let's see where the buyer was. 135 lots, so 1,350 contracts at 21228. Another bubble. Another green bubble. Bubbles.
Bubbles. I trade bubbles.
Decent. That's for people that know Trailer Park Boys. Bubbles. Another green bubble. We got a lot of buyers right here.
You know, and we're not moving very far.
Yeah, I see that.
There's a VPOC forming at 21,260.
VPOC. Eh. 250 might have been a place to get in, but I'm not really trusting any of this.
AMD's in a really interesting spot for me.
Ooh, Mr. Pumpin'. 360.
Thoron, I'm looking at AMD also, but I'm looking at the order book and it's super bullish.
It's
even
super
above.
bullish. There's
Above
more.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of buying volume
Yeah,
too.
we're buying now. Oh, I got all those green bubbles. There's tons of them on my chart. So it's kind of like a book map inside my Ninja, but I only have the block trade showing up. Anything over 100 contracts.
It's a narrow range
145,
too.
141.
Like AMD could
or-
technically go into a counter trending breakout here. It's
Yeah.
not it's a play that does occur. It's just not one that I trade because it doesn't occur very often. So a lot of the plays like that I pick the plays that happen the most often, which is why on a day like today, might just be a day to not do anything
Yeah,
because
I don't know if I'm going to take.
if you don't have a lot of high opportunity plays, then what do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not a high probability opportunity plays. I would have liked if I would have wanted to go long. It didn't quite get back to R4, and it didn't pull into a discount. So as far as going short here, it looks kind of sketchy too.
If we're gonna
Okay,
sell, we
short.
should sell right now.
Okay. Now,
We're checking Nvidia. It's under R3.
Like literally, like right now. Like if NQ is gonna sell, it should happen right now.
and
This
why
is
is that? Just because where we are?
Yeah, there's a high value area right here that we just
Oh,
threw
okay.
indecision right on top of 280. If they buy through this high value area, there's nothing to stop them from going higher.
Well,
You're
if
not
it's
sh- you're not
without,
sharing
So
that part of your
if they
screen.
go higher than this, they'll probably sweep through pre-market high, and they could
Yeah,
run
they're
to
gonna
floor
go-
levels.
it looks like they want to sweep 300. So it's back testing S
You're not
R6.
sharing that screen, Thor.
Huh?
You're sharing AMD.
Okay.
Oh, I was thinking you were showing something on.
Yeah, I'm looking at multiple things on multiple monitors because I'm trying to trade at the same time. So I can't always, you know what I'm saying? I do my best, but like I'm looking at ES because I'm watching AMD for a potential position. So I'm watching that because this is the screen I use for that. But oh, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. The guy is here. Let me pull ES up.
Looks like it wants to sweep 300 again at the very least. I'm seeing some resistance here at R6 on the without settings, which would be correct today. But I'm not touching it. I can't really read it. So we pushed into a fair value gap on the hourly and also, you know what I mean? And on the 15-minute. And I don't get good feels from this. I can't read it. I mean, if I would have got in, I think getting in at the 200 when I started seeing those bubbles, but my discount premium is until 142, and VWAP's down there too. That's I don't know if I'm going to touch anything else today. Might be a trending day. See what the bank's earnings do. Yeah, so we're back above 300 now. 21,305. See what happens up there. Floor three's at 482. Wow. Floor two is 310. This is on without. I typically use instrument, but today we would be using without, so
That would be something to pay attention to. The order book's a little balanced right now. There is a chance it just doesn't sell today.
Yeah, I know.
It's just so early in the day. Like, where else are we gonna go? Still more up? Yeah. I still haven't felt like I got a really good signal. High volume selling 1 minute low here would have been a nice signal, but it didn't happen.
Let's see what happens here.
Are you using GSN's
Nope.
warnings indicator?
What's the morning? I tried to load it, but it wasn't.
In the pivots indicator, not the
Yeah.
custom warning one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the cam to the pivots.
Look, here we go. So I changed it to a 1 minute, and then I got the warning New York market first 30 minutes.
Yeah, I got that.
No, they're holding. Yeah, I know that. You have sensation, yeah, yeah. Oh my god.